quick question. Have you ever thought that you might want to ask either of your parents or both of your parents whether it is okay for you to get a tattoo? I'm sure there are lots of people who actually want tattoos, but then they cannot get tattoos because they still need a roof over their heads because they still live with their parents. But then I'm going to tell you something a bit surprising much later on in the show. Thank you so much for joining. It's Unplug, and here we talk about the latest updates across the world in politics, news, entertainment, everything that is going on. Thank you for joining. My name is Victor, and let's start off with entertainment news. Tacha, of course, popularly known as Tacha, seemed to do something quite interesting. It was like she shot her shots at Don Jazzy, and people are like, Tacha, we see what you're doing. Well, Don Jazzy posted a video on Twitter where he was using Tacha's clipper. You know, Tacha has a brand and everything, so he was using a clipper that, of course, is Tacha's brand. And she posted the video and was like, wow, Don Jazzy is fresh. And you know, Don Jazzy just revealed his new house in Lekki, and she referred to that and said, Don Jazzy, don't you think there's something missing in your house? Me. I'm like, oh, you didn't even try to do it a little more subtly. You just went straight to the point. We see you. Well, Don Jazzy hasn't said anything yet, but it was obvious Tacha was just shooting her shot somehow. And fans started shipping them and whatever it is, giving the ship names. I'm like, okay, these people, they will not rest. Well, that is about that. Let's move on now. Let's talk Burna Boy. Burna Boy, of course, you perhaps know already by now that he has been nominated for the second year running in the Best Global Album category at the Grammy Awards. And he's probably a very strong contender this year to, come home with the Grammy Award. But apart from that, he has just been announced to be one of the artists that are going to be performing during the premiere ceremony. That is the show before the show. Going to be seeing a lot of artists performing, and Burna Boy is going to be one of them. It'll be really good to see him, perform before the awards and then actually goes on to win the award. Going to make a lot of sense, right? I'm sure a lot of people are rooting for Burna Boy. Don't forget the awards come up on the 14th of this month on a Sunday, so it's not so far off anymore. All right, now let's move on. Let's talk Tony Lawani, who was in the news for something. I don't even know what to call it, but some people called it cool. Other people, were just like, what is the meaning of this? Tony Lawani is a stylist, and she recently turned 39 years old, and she flaunted this wig on the internet, and that wig is worth 4 million naira. 4 million naira for a piece of hair. Just hair, 4 million naira. Well, she said it was Cardi B inspired, and I was like, wow, there are people who have money. Well, now they see this money. Like, please tell me where you're seeing this money, because I would also like to get a haircut for 4 million naira. I don't know what I'm going to look like after the haircut, but I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Well, the jury's still out. There are different opinions here and there. To some people, it makes sense. To some people, it just doesn't. But Tony Lawani is just there living her best life. You can think whatever you want about it, all right? Away from Tony, let's talk Bolanle Nino Lowo now. He recently posted a video on Instagram. He had to attend an event in Abuja, and he arrived there in very nice car, an SUV, and he didn't come down from the car himself. A mobile police officer opened the door for him to come down, and he captioned it and said something about getting results. The results you get are worth more than the time you spend trying to get those results. That was what his caption was saying. But then people came and attacked him and was like, oh wow, you have now attained just a little level of fame and this is what you're doing. Now it has to be a police officer to open the door for you. What now happens if you now get a little bit more than this? I'm like, what is wrong with people? I mean, just let people be. Live and let live. That is what he wants. He's getting it. He's enjoying himself. Why do you have to attack him? If you want police people to open the door for you, you can walk to the nearest police station and say, please, I need somebody opening my car door for me or whatever it is. But well, a lot of people attacked him and the man is just unbothered. He didn't respond to anybody. And we move, right? Yes, we do. Moving on now. Let's talk Bobrisky. Bobrisky actually, but somebody else tattooed Bobrisky on their body again. And this time a guy tattooed Bobrisky's face. And I asked you earlier, what if you tell your parents that you want to get a tattoo? Are they going to approve or disapprove? Well, more likely that they disapprove, Nigerian parents and all of that. But this particular parent, the mother of this young man who tattooed Bobrisky's face on his body, actually made a video with the young guy and was pleading with Bobrisky to give her son money because he tattooed his face on his arm. Bobrisky's face on his arm. And she in the video, why I said Bobrisky earlier was because she called him. I was like, hello Bobrisky, love, life and prosperity, and all of that. I was literally asking Bobrisky to give her son money. Now wow, okay, I'm not going to say anything, but you just make of that what you will. Bobrisky actually is probably going to give them something. It seems like tattooing Bobrisky's name or face has become a business venture. Now we're hearing that Bobrisky is going to take the first batch of people to tattoo his name on their bodies to Dubai, and he's going to share an amount of money amongst them. And I'm like, oh, please, where's the nearest tattoo artist? I'm heading there right now. Bobrisky's face is going to be on my chest. I'm going to tear my shirts like this and you'll see it. But anyways, that is that. We'll keep you posted on whatever it is that happens. Let's move on now to something else. And Jam, this time around, there were a lot of rumors about the dates for the UTME exams being set. But Jam has come out to clarify everything and say that, look, we have not set any date yet. So disregard any tweets that you see there from an unofficial account, because there are a lot of accounts that pop up from here and there, mostly just to scam people, and they're giving out all sorts of wrong information. So you need to be very careful. So Jam has cleared the air and no date has been set yet for UTME registration. So to whom that may concern, the right thing to do now. All right. Now, away from that, to the COVID-19 vaccines, everything is in place now. We have 3.9 million doses. Now, the PTF, that is the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, has announced that there is an age limit for vaccinations. If you're not up to 18 years old, you cannot get vaccinated. Now imagine actually coming down with COVID-19 because you're not up to 18 yet. I'm wondering, well, they probably have their reasons for that, but that is what it is right now. If you're not up to 18, you cannot get vaccinated. So while we expect more doses of the vaccine to come into Nigeria, that is one of the major ground rules. So whether or not people are going to try to break the rule, we don't know yet, but we'll see how it goes with time. Okay, now let's move on to the foreign scene now, where former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been sentenced to prison. Yes, Nicolas Sarkozy is going to jail, and he was sentenced to 3 years in prison, including 2 years suspended, for corruption and influence peddling. And he becomes the second president in France's Fifth Republic to be sent to jail after office. It goes to show that, look, these countries are not playing with their reputation, they're not playing with corruption, anything like that. If you mess up, you collect. President or whoever it is you are, if you mess up, you collect straight up. So there you have it. Nicolas Sarkozy is heading to jail. Now, still talking about presidents, and we've seen situations where celebrities, leverage on the fame that they've gotten and their popularity to move into politics and succeed. You are reminded of George Weah, who moved from being a footballer to becoming the president of Liberia, right? And we now have actors in America who have expressed their intentions to, sometime in the near future or the foreseeable future, actually run for president of the United States of America. Yesterday, first of all, it was Will Smith. Because you know Will Smith, don't you? He said that yes, he would love to run for president at some point in the future. He wants to go into politics. And oh wow. Now, not long after that, Dwayne the Rock Johnson also said something similar, and in his case, he said if the people want it, if fans, people, who love him actually want him to do it, then he sees nothing wrong in going into politics and contesting for president of the United States. It just reminds you of Kanye West. Remember, Kanye West actually contested during the last elections, and he was able to gather up to 1,000 votes, but he admitted defeat, and he was like, okay, we're going to go again in 2024. And of course, he's probably going to keep to his words. But it would be quite interesting to see what these guys can do in the political space. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who became governor of California, and he did well. Still an actor today. So we'll definitely wait to see what these guys can do, and of course, time will tell. All right, now let's move on to sports, where Manchester City have extended their lead at top of the English Premier League table to 15 points. 15 points. These guys are absolutely running away with the title. They're just running away with the English Premier League title this season. So let's just see how it goes. It will take an almighty collapse for them to not win the title this season. I'm still talking about good things coming people's way. Cristiano Ronaldo has set yet another record. He has become the first player to hit 20 plus goals in the league every season for the past 12 seasons. Incredible. He has played for Manchester United, he has played for Real Madrid, he has played for, or he currently plays for Juventus right now. And that record started at Real Madrid, and he's still going strong at 36 years of age. There you have it. That is all we have on Unplug for today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And until next time, my name is Victor. Don't forget, this is every NG. Stay tuned. Bye.